What was your initial plan? Because I watched one of your interviews. You said Yo Gotti found you because, like you said, you were doing your late mixes, your covers of already popular songs. So when you hit the gram, but was that your like idea? Somebody's gonna find me. I'm gonna get signed.
So actually, I was in college for nursing. So I started off in college, wanted to be a nurse, but that's when I started to post the videos and started to get love. I feel like I was just doing what I love to do.
Yo Gotti's purported side girl just stole the limelight from Angela Simmons. Fans have learned that Gotti's mystery baby mom is actually his own artist, Layla Samaya. Layla is not playing either. She just shared a sultry video of herself and Gotti looking extremely cozy, if you get what I mean. It is noisy and disorganized, and while Layla is riding that drama train headlong, Angela is left fumbling. Layla seems to be enjoying every moment of Angela's recent outbursts, which have included public weeping and cryptic tweets. Gotti, meanwhile, is quiet. You would think that after pursuing Angela for so long, he would have proposed, or at least remained faithful, but instead he is out here, living as though he is single once more, while Layla is the main character. But wait, there is more to this than loyalty and appearances. The twist was dropped by Layla. She asserts that Gotti is her biological father. If this is accurate, we are dealing with a serious scandal. Why Layla decided to make all of these statements in public at this time is unclear. Some people believe that she is using the heat to further her music career and is all about hustle. Suspicious minds are predicting that this shocking revelation will go viral around the release of her album War in the Streets. Allegedly, she has been disparaging Angela on the internet by posting hidden signals such as, "It is a fight rap track." Layla is out there slipping up on the microphone of public attention, hoping that the noise will become momentum for her next big track or collaboration, even if Gotti and Angela remain silent. According to rumors, Layla openly taunted Angela with receipts by flooding her inbox with pictures and videos of her and Gotti cuddling together in bed. Things between Gotti and Angela got so out of hand when Layla initially released those images that she went up to him face to face. Drama, huh? This is where it becomes even more juicy, though. A few admirers noticed that Angela was having trouble keeping up appearances. The site Gospel of the City actually revealed several secrets back in 2023. Gotti was seen in Vegas with a nurse at the Aria Hotel, which suggested that they had broken up or that she was being cheated on. It turns out that Layla was the nurse boo, not just some fling. Here's the thing. Layla studied to fall behind. She allegedly utilized the nurse photograph as part of the cover after things heated up, leading people to believe Gotti was simply out with his medical pal. However, insiders claim that it was all a part of Layla's strategy to remain anonymous, and she is now revealing the receipts to support her. Angela had been silent, perhaps attempting to think of a way to react without making matters worse. Gotti? Silent too, perhaps trapped in his own mess. Layla is playing a high-stakes game in the meantime, revealing content, retaliating against Angela, and emphasizing that she got the whole thing, including the label of baby mama.
What was your initial plan? Because I watched one of your interviews. You said Yo Gotti found you because, like you said, you were doing your late mixes, your covers of already popular songs. So when you hit the gram, but was that your like idea? Somebody's gonna find me. I'm gonna get signed.
So actually, I was in college for nursing. So I started off in college, wanted to be a nurse, but that's when I started to post the videos and started to get love. I feel like I was just doing what I love to do.
Since the math is now beginning to add up a bit too nicely, let us discuss how this situation got out of control. Angela accepted Gotti back even after the initial split brought on by Layla's audacious act with the receipts. She did indeed forgive him. Why? Due to Gotti's flawless return, smooth in the lavish style. For her birthday, the man really went all out. Rumor has it that Gotti spent over $500,000 on Angela in an attempt to win her back. Next level flexing is what we are discussing. A Himalaya Kelly Birkin bag made of crocodile leather is among the most unusual presents. Yes, that bag, the one that exudes luxury more loudly than a private aircraft alone, which is valued at about $300,000. He did not stop there either. He accessorized it with a about $100,000 Himalaya watch set with diamonds. We believed it to be all unique, uncommon, and drama-proof. Gotti loves to go all out on Angela's birthday, according to a close insider who also revealed that she was completely taken aback when she opened the presents. Being very deliberate, he wanted to demonstrate his seriousness by getting her uncommon and special gifts. Indeed, even if it is only momentary, that kind of gesture does soothe a broken heart. Gotti was out here adamantly declaring that he was done with all the cheating after they reconciled and were on good terms again. He allegedly told her, "You are my one and only." However, that promise was broken during the season, baby. It turns out that even though he was treating Angela like a princess during the day, he was still supposedly sneaking around with Layla after hours. This is when it becomes more profound. Supporters think Layla had feelings for Gotti from the beginning. Actually, Layla said in a leaked interview that she had already manifested a relationship with Gotti before they even connected. She claimed that, as if summoning him into her life, she would visualize it, say it aloud, and even write about it in her journal. It is not merely a coincidence. It is a premeditated move.
Are you big on manifestation?
Yeah.
I asked that because I watched the interview, one of your interviews too. You said you once DM'd Yo Gotti as one of the people you were like,
Yeah.
and that he eventually, over there once he found your music. So speak on that one.
Mhm. I actually DM him and I DM Jermaine Dupri. I definitely manifested. And pray.
Social media was now in a spin, and not in a positive way. When Gotti gave Layla that gaudy pink Lamborghini, it did not exactly scream purely business, so people were giving her the side eye, when the majority of people in the industry are still battling for fundamental contract rights. Label executives do not just give new artists luxury whips like it is a mixtape release. Let us consider the bigger picture. Beyonce, who owns a well-known and exclusive label, signed Chloe and Halle to a 6-album contract that only included a $1 million compensation. That is around $500,000 for 6 complete albums. Car keys are being dropped off like party favors by Gotti out here in the meantime. Whispers began to circulate among fans. Was it the music, or was there anything more going on behind the scenes? And the Lambo was not the only one. Gotti had been observed replying to Layla's posts more than any of his other artists, leaving likes, comments, and other interactions. In addition, he gave her several expensive presents and a diamond chain. Before long, people started to piece things together and infer a deeper relationship, not only in the studio either. But hold up, there's more to this messy puzzle. According to rumors, Gotti got a side chick pregnant. Can you guess who fans think this could be? Yes, Layla. The timeline began to seep in a bit too neatly. Fans were counting the receipts when Layla was pictured with an expanding belly, which coincided with the escalation of pregnancy rumors. This is where things start to go crazy. Digging through old images, timestamps, and comments, the internet investigators arrived. They began to connect the dots that no one had ever considered looking at. The alleged coincidence turned out to be more of a direct confirmation. Once appearing to be merely a budding musician being mentored by Gotti, Layla was now being referred to as the rumored baby mama. And believe me, Layla quickly discovered that fans go into full FBI gear when they begin to sniff scandal. You name it, screenshots, old tweets, clues about a baby shower. Nothing escaped them. For months, she has avoided answering the question and has yet to reveal the identity of her child's father. Layla has been under constant pressure from fans, but she simply refuses to divulge. And people are becoming even more skeptical because of that silence. Because the man is either involved in another committed relationship or is a well-known celebrity who cannot officially claim her without igniting a media frenzy, many believe she is concealing the truth. It was easy to do the math when fans began to make connections. Like a neon sign, Gotti's name kept appearing. The chronology, the atmosphere, and the abrupt change in Angela Simmons' conduct all began to make sense, particularly after Angela began acting in a totally uncharacteristic manner. That was outright treachery, not heartbreak. Not only that, but it was betrayal with someone she most likely had met, smiled at, perhaps even spent time together. That is an extra stingy gut punch. Let us just rewind the tape. For years, Gotti pursued Angela as if she were the final queen in the world. Nor was that man bashful about it. He announced to the world that he was attracted to her. Do you recall the iconic remark that Gotti sent down in the direct message back in 2015? I simply followed Angela Simmons once he proudly and loudly stated it, rather than merely hinting at it. I have a thing for Angela Simmons, boy. As soon as that song was released, fans went crazy. Nor was he merely speaking slickly. Everyone was buzzing after hearing that line. Gotti was very serious, but many assumed it was simply a bar. In real life, he was moving. He made sure she understood he was not joking around, kept the pressure on, and moved into her direct messages. Posts, interviews, and even showing up at events like a man on a mission were all part of the campaign. What about the wild part? His supporters were cheering him on. In fact, others wanted to see Angela try him. It was reminiscent of a fairy tale. However, rumors continued to circulate. After hearing rumors that they were having secret conversations behind the scenes, people were not buying the Just Buddies story. There was undoubtedly something in the works. After a few years, Gotti's birthday presents began to cost 6 figures. Angela flaunted her Birkins, and everyone thought, well, maybe they finally made it official. Before Layla took center stage with all this heat, everything seemed to be going well. When Angela welcomed Yo Gotti to the launch party for her brand FFI, things really got heated. Let me tell you, it was not just a friendly moment. The two of them were far too cozy for it to be solely business related. And Gotti pulled up like a boss with cameras flashing everywhere. When people saw those photos, they were asking themselves, wait a second, what is actually happening here? Fans were already on high alert, especially since Gotti had been openly smitten on Angela for years. This launch event was like to dousing a fire with gas. The excitement was palpable on social media. Everyone believed that Gotti's long-term strategy was finally succeeding. Fans were enthralled, and it was like seeing a real-time celebrity romance play out. Everything about this public presence, both his songs and the direct message, shouted, "I got her now!" Gotti seems to have transitioned from admirer to main guy. However, Angela quickly applied the brakes. She intervened, cleared the air, and instructed everyone to stop talking about romance. She said that Gotti's presence was only encouragement. Simply put, there should be no relationship tea or couple goals, just respect. The way he stared at her and the way she smiled back, however, did not sit well with admirers. No, that was not just good vibes. People were closely examining each picture, analyzing the body language, and contrasting it with what their friends had said. People became even more dubious of Angela's attempt to keep things low-key. It appeared to them to be a traditional soft launch prior to going public. After that, there was the behind-the-scenes chatter, with industry people muttering that they had been texting for months before the event. According to insiders, Gotti has been mailing her presents, flying her out, and attending secret meals. One internet user even wrote, Gotti showed up as a man claiming his claim, not simply for her brand. People debated that statement alone for days. Fans were not the only ones stirring things up. The comments area of Angela's own site, celebrity blogs, and gossip pages all blazed like fireworks. While some were cheering them on, others cautioned her to exercise caution.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Don't do that. I know I'm saying it is a mother. I know.
This is when things became really ugly, since Gotti himself affirmed a lot of what Angela had been saying in her interviews all along. He freely acknowledged that he had been working hard, giving her flowers, mailing presents, and doing everything in his power to make a good impression. However, Angela ultimately did not feel that way about him. She gently bent him, but it was obvious from away that the romantic path was blocked. At first, many genuinely felt sorry for Gotti, thinking, here's this guy getting curled softly but continuously, pouring it on thick for years, and dropping lyrics about his crush. Fans were out here dubbing him King of Persistence, like he was writing a love story in real time. Then, however, the narrative changed against him. The blogs were suddenly informed that Gotti had not been keeping it 100%. It turns out that the picture of a single man seeking love was not accurate. He casually revealed in an interview that he delivered a $100,000 Valentine's Day gift to one of his baby moms. For example, pause. Unless there is still some energy left, you do not just give someone 6 figures on V-Day. There were many eyebrows raised by that. Let us face it, who just hands out $100,000 with no conditions attached? He did not indicate they were still dating. That is not casual. We still got history, is how you put it. All of the sympathy that people were expressing for Gotti abruptly ended very quickly. Individuals began making connections between previously unconnected dots. Angela might not have been only curling him because she did not like him. Perhaps she was aware that despite his pretense, he was still bound by a predicament, and it made perfect sense for her to pull aside if she had seen it early on. Since Angela has always been about keeping her peace, she was not unpacking Gotti's baggage if it was that heavy. However, just when everybody believed the story was coming to a close, Angela revealed the most surprising plot twist. She suddenly declared that she was engaged. As in what? No one was even aware that she was in a committed relationship. Nothing. No mystery man handpicks. No soft rollout. Like a cliffhanger in a season finale, the entire fiancé was abruptly exposed. Before anyone could blink, Angela dropped a second bombshell. She was pregnant. Social media was in disbelief. The timeline shook with back-to-back revelations that said, "I move in silence like genuine queens do." Everyone was frantically attempting to ascertain how she was able to keep everything so secret. You are already aware of what the fans began to say. Gotti had to be somewhere in the booth with the lights off, phone on, do not disturb, hoodie up, crying into his own playlist titled Cold Crush Chronicles or Heartbreak in HD. I have not heard from her yet. Yes, it was actually causing emotional harm. He actually acknowledged that he was still playing tricks on his baby mama while lusting for Angela. The nerve. Angela did not wait for you, but you are over here giving someone else gifts worth $100,000 and then being jealous. Make sense of it. This is where everything really comes into play though. When news of Angela's engagement broke on the internet, fans went all FBI and the information they discovered about her fiancé was shocking. She did not flee, hide, or allow the criticism to demoralize her. She went out to defend her guy, assuring everyone that although he was striving to improve, he had made mistakes. He was, in her opinion, on a path of development and atonement, and she supported second chances. However, the internet never sleeps, and fresh drama erupted right as people were beginning to digest everything. There were rumors that her fiancé was not just dishonest in the past, but may have cheated on her while she was pregnant. Plot twists, huh? Timelines started to overflow with screenshots and receipts. It was more chaotic than a reality TV love triangle, complete with location tags, DMs, and dubious images. Despite all of that internet activity and buzzing, Angela continued to defend him. She increased her level of trust, turned off the commotion, and continued to concentrate on her pregnancy. Fans, however, could see the pressure mounting behind the scenes. Angela was out there trying to hold it all together, but the drama just kept happening as she went from projecting the ideal picture to being on a public opinion roller coaster. However, as the months went by, things began to go wrong, and in 2017, Angela eventually acknowledged that the split was official. She ended it and made it public, announcing to everyone that she was finished. The internet exploded right away, with supporters saying, "Oh, that is it. Finally, Gotti's moment has arrived." You would think that after all those years of his remaining down, displaying affection, and playing the patient game, Angela would finally turn to him. Wrong. Angela gave him the old-fashioned "you are kind but nah" vibe. Seeing it was nearly painful. Not even a little bit of her was looking for Gotti. Rather, she began to appear in connections with NBA player Serge Ibaka. Yep, let us be honest. That fling had a blink and you'll miss it chronology. Before people had a chance to adjust to the concept, it died away. Okay, now it is must be Gotti's moment, everyone said. But you know what? No dice yet. Apparently, Gotti was not on Angela's list of ideals for love. When she started dating boxer Daniel Jacobs in 2020, everyone took notice. Is she Angela's type? Everyone, literally, excluding Yo Gotti. The main character never gets the girl, no matter how long he waits, and it was beginning to resemble a real-life romantic comedy. Gotti had been publicly crushing for more than 5 years by this time. That is more time than most people spend in school. Secondhand humiliation was beginning to set in, and fans were saying things like, "Bro, let it go." He was about to be removed from the group chat by some who said, he does not need to suffer like this no more. However, it appeared that Gotti eventually received the memo, as if she had been in love with him all along. She began to talk about him. You guys, she was shining. She stated in interviews that she was just going with the flow and that she was open to marriage. She uttered, I adore him. I am content. I have a wonderful relationship. So yes, I am content. I am cool. I discovered in life that you simply have to adapt to the pace of your surroundings. Like a teenager, she was drooling. He is one of my main inspirations, she said, even going so far as to call Gotti her inspiration. We simply understand one another. He hustles. I adore observing him. He motivates me to improve myself. He seems like a wonderful person to me. She firmly felt that she had discovered the one with whom she was destined to grow. However, as that fairy tale did not continue long, the roles have now been reversed. Gotti changed the plot once more after all the loving declarations and objectives of a happy couple. Rumors circulated online that he had gotten another woman pregnant just 2 years into their partnership. What about that woman? The same girl that has been subtly disparaging Angela continuously is Layla Samaya. Imagine ignoring a man for 7 years, then giving in, falling deeply, and declaring your love in public only to have him turn around and humiliate you in this way. Furthermore, the claimed side lady who is purportedly carrying Gotti's child is now making fun of Angela. It is causing betrayal, humiliation, and pure mayhem. The streets are humming now. Will Angela abandon him and walk away, or will she remain by his side through all of this chaos? Because there is a whole additional layer of drama that will not go away anytime soon if Layla is indeed the baby mama. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Do you think Angela is gonna stick with Gotti through this, or is it time for her to move on? To keep up with the chaos, hit subscribe, hit like if you are all about the drama, and remember to enable alerts